A few years ago, I watched this show on Netflix, which is called Chef's Table, and there was this specific episode about this chef and this bakery in New York. The name of the bakery is Milk Bar. In the video, they mentioned this insane birthday cake, and it's honestly the most beautiful cake I've ever seen. It's got such a specific look to it. It's not fully frosted on the outside. It's got this little birthday cake like cookies on top. It's very distinguished. Like, you would not compare this birthday cake to a traditional fully frosted, fully smooth birthday cake, and that is why I fell in love with this cake. Also, the fact that I heard that that was Taylor Swift's birthday cake, it became my mission to actually try it. Last year, before my birthday, I decided to send them an email and say, hey, is there any way that you can send a cake to my house in London? I didn't ask for anything for free. All I asked was for them to make an exception and send it overseas. I get a reply back from the bakery and they say, no. But then I went on the Milk Bar website and I realized the recipe for the cake is in there. Very fitting with the look of the cake. The recipe is insane. It's super long. It's got like 8 pages. It's got 6 different recipes within the one recipe. I am the first person to say I just don't have that talent. Even if I took 3 days to do this, I would fail and I would probably ruin this cake for myself. I really mean this. I never got over this cake. I never tried it, and it's been something that I think about at least twice a week, I would say. Which takes us to this right here, which is the handwritten recipe for this very specific looking cake. The recipe is so specific, it's so complex that I became obsessed that if I didn't have a picture, if I didn't watch the Netflix show, would I be able to recreate that same exact cake? So I rewrote the recipe myself and I sent to both of the bakeries 1 star, 5 star, and to me this is essentially a scientific experiment. The cakes are in my house, so I'm not gonna waste any more time and okay guys, so here comes the 5-star cake, and here we've got the 1-star cake that, by the way, it's really flat. So before we open the box and reveal what the cake looks like, I want to tell you what my expectations are. So I'm looking at a picture of the cake, and I think the most important thing is that it's not frosted on the outside. It's very important for me that it also has those cake bites on top, cake crumbs, I think that's the name of it. And of course, I think one of the strongest components of the cake is the fact that the birthday cake sprinkles are actually baked into the cake and not sprinkled on top. I am ready. I want to do this. I'm either about to have one of the best moments of my life or just about to be so disappointed that it's just gonna be a typical day. I don't know if this is working. Okay, that seems like good enough. I don't think I damaged the cake, so I'm gonna do the same on the other side. It's so difficult without seeing anything. I honestly have no idea what I'm doing. Now the challenge is to put it back together. So this right here that I'm about to show to you is one of the most famous, iconic cakes in the world from a 5-star bakery, followed only using the written recipe. And also my only good shot at having Taylor Swift's birthday cake. 1, 2, 3. That's really good. How sad would it be if I actually cried? Cause it's heavy. It's really heavy. Does this actually look really similar? And you guys don't even have the best side. The best side is it's beautiful. We're gonna do a close-up and see the side by side of the actual cake and my expectation and what I got. But I said that the most important thing for me is that you can see the sprinkles baked inside the cake, and I'm pretty sure that's what happened because look, you can see a blue one here. Then I also said that of course we don't want it to be fully frosted. The sides at least, they've done an incredible job. I need to check how much I paid for this. I will tell you the prices of both. The last thing, and this might be the only part in which, it wasn't quite right, is the top of the cake is supposed to have those little, they look like cake pops basically. I'm gonna
I don't know how to help with that. Here are other things you can try.
I'm gonna get in here with the camera and give you guys the close-up of your lives, but I can't seem to find those little balls, but they spread it out as a thin layer, which I guess maybe wasn't specific enough in the recipe. I need to check on it. I feel like you guys need a close-up for this more than anything. Oh my god, imagine if I drop this. I mean, physically, the sides of the cakes, I feel really bad for the One Star Bakery. It feels sturdy, which is really nice. And then the way they've done the piping on top, it just looks so good. The only thing is literally just the little cake crumbs on top. I expected them to be like big. Obviously, we have to do a side by side on kind of what we expected and kind of what we got. And honestly, even though it might not be exactly the same, just the way the layers have been distributed, like the ratio of the frosting and the cake, it's really similar. It comes down to the top of the cake. That's the only thing that I would change, because I don't know if you see, they've done basically a very thin layer. So this is all made of frosting, which I'm pretty sure on the official cake, that's not what it was made of. I honestly couldn't have asked for more, so I'm really pleased with this. I cannot wait to open the One Star. So this is essentially Taylor Swift's birthday cake from one of the worst rated bakeries in London. I'm really getting good at this, I think. This is one of the world's most visually iconic cakes, ordered from a one-star bakery only using a written recipe. Obviously I expected like this kind of look, but it looks like a Cheesecake Factory cheesecake made by me. I'm gonna get rid of the box so you guys appreciate this in all of its glory. Wow. My favorite part is the abstract layers on the side. They really said deconstructed. I also love how it's super even. Like on this side, it's almost fully frosted, and then surprise, we've got layers. Also what I say to my friends when I have a mood change. I'm gonna let you guys inspect the details so you can obviously decide for yourself, and I'm not trying to be mean. I think the price differences were huge for this cake, but I will check on that. Once again, the three most important things to me were, first of all, that we could see the sprinkles in the cake. No. Second of all, that we could see the layers, the cake is exposed, and then the frosting is not covering it, and I actually don't know what's going on there. This might be a positive one. The cake crumbs on top, like the cake pops or whatever you call it. I don't even know what the official name is. But in the other one, they did the frosting all around, and then they didn't really shape the cake crumbs. Maybe it's because the cake is smaller. This one kind of did. So if it was arranged like on the outside of the cake, I mean, it could be. I think this specific bakery is probably still starting out, because we gotta start somewhere. Unless I paid a lot of money for this. Then it's like, the Karen inside of me is about to come out and ask to speak to the manager, which I honestly don't think there is a manager. I'll be surprised if there's a baker. We do this with a sense of humor, but honestly, I would not be able to do this myself. Like, first person to admit it. So I'm disappointed in the color of the sprinkles, because it doesn't have that rainbow look. So it looks just very pink, because it's got pop rocks and then gold, like wedding cake sprinkles, and it just looks like recycled cake toppings. Let's see it from up close. That honestly actually looks pretty good. I mean, like, it's supposed to be here. Like, if you see the photo of the cake, it's like the difference in height is huge. But I actually do think they did the amount of layers. I can't really tell, but I just feel like the cake didn't rise. So I don't know if they followed the exact same recipe. You can kind of see that the toppings is just a little bit disappointing. It will be really interesting to put them next to each other and slicing into. We're gonna finally see if they did the same amount of layers. I'm really curious, or if there's cake sprinkles baked in there. So there we go. The 5-star and the 1-star cake from Milk Bar. I would say the biggest difference is probably the size. Like, this one feels like the right size, and like, I don't even know how. I think they managed to squeeze the same amount of layers. Maybe the frosting started to melt or something. I don't even have to point it out. You guys can see, like, this one just looks better in every possible way. The only thing I would probably say that this one did was that they got these cookie bites the same size. But actually, looking at this one, these are pretty good as well. It's just that because of the frosting, you can't really see it. But I mean, it does look better with the frosting. So I did not mention the price yet. The price for the original cake, the milk bar cake, is $55, I think, for the smallest size, which is kind of similar to these. This one costs £75, which is, I think, close to like $90. And the 1-star rated costs £45, which is around the same as the original $55. If you guys are shocked with the prices, you have to remember that one of them is like a big bakery that produces cakes like in series. These are smaller, like local bakers, so they probably cost them more to get the ingredients. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh my god, that is beautiful. Are you kidding me? The most beautiful slice of cake ever. And don't you even dare falling on me. For those of you interested, this is kind of what the inside looks like. I mean, it looks really, really good. It cuts really nicely. Oh, this cuts really well as well. Wow, that feels like an incredible texture. I almost want to do a blind test and see if I would be able to tell which one is the winner when it comes to taste, because we know the winner when it comes to look is that one. Okay. Wow, it's a lot darker on the inside, but I mean they did bake the cake sprinkles into it. It seems really doughy. It just looks really, really wet. Like, it feels wet. It's almost like I don't know if you guys can see, but it's kind of like raw looking. It's almost like dough. After we look at it, the taste test, it's never completely fair because you're obviously judging it on the looks. So what I'm gonna do for the first time, and do let me know if you guys think this is a bad or good idea, we're gonna do a blind test. So we already know that visually that's the winner, but the flavor, even though the 1-star looks a little bit raw, we've got one layer of cake and then frosting and the little cookie bite on top. So this is the 1-star rated. So I'm gonna try to get a smaller bite so I can't really tell which one is which. Yeah, that looks really similar. I would think that the 5-star tastes better just because, you know, it looks very similar, but you never know. So, wow, I can't even, okay, there's one here. I hope you guys can see what it is. Right. Wow, it's kind of like a soft baked cookie. Literally feels the same. So, oh, okay. Wow, that's really good. It's so milky, like I would have thought. The winner is the 5-star. Guys, this is really good cake. Like, it's not this birthday that my dream is gonna come true because I can't travel to New York. But if you guys live in any place where you can get this cake, enjoy it. Send me a slice. This is, oh my god. It's so milky. Like, I love the flavor of milk. One of my favorite flavors in sweet food, a dream, a cloud of milk with rainbow sprinkles. This is like, I am gonna call the bakery and tell them that this is literally the greatest cake I have ever eaten. Like, I hope you enjoyed this as much as I have. If you did, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel. Only do it if you enjoy my videos, but if you do, you know, scroll down, there's a subscribe button. You know how it works. It really does help me with this series. If you don't like me and you didn't enjoy this video, that's also totally fine, like no pressure. If you guys want me to do another one of these written recipes, maybe I should try it with a recipe from my mom. If you want to watch that, give the video a like. Easiest way for you guys to tell me, because you don't need to comment, you don't need to do anything, just... I love you guys. I've got a lot to do now, so I'll see you guys in my next video. Holy... I've never experienced this level. Oh my god. This is unfair to all other cakes in the world. Wow.